Myers back in sticky Tampa. Cadillac Williams telling me after pregame warmups he's about 90%. He'll wear special padding customized, not a flak jacket, to protect those sore ribs against the Saints today. Whoever said it's not the heat, it's the humidity, well, it's both. Players talking about it in pregame warmups. Plenty of extra ice and water. Also, the surplus giant-sized fans on each of the benches for each team. Joey Galloway said it's at least a 2 IV day. Reggie Bush said no needles for me. I'll just drink a lot of water. And Rondé Barber said it's a good thing the Saints are in the dark jerseys. We'll take any advantage we can get. We'll monitor how the heat affects both teams in this game. Sam, Tim, I don't know if it's the tie or what, but it's definitely hotter in high definition.
Thanks, Chris. Little overcast, little cloud cover now is taking a bit of the edge off. The Bucs will kick off. Lance Moore, the second-year returner out of Toledo, is deep. Matt Bryant's kick to Moore, deep in the end zone. It's a touchback. Good, strong kick by Matt Bryant. And the Saints, wearing the black jerseys, will go on offense.
Well, they'll tell you that the heat won't be an issue today, and we asked all of them almost to a man yesterday, and the guys that we talked to, in particular, quarterback Drew Brees, and how's it going to affect the fellas? And he said he doesn't think so. The camp they had up at Millsap College, it was 107 several days in a row, and they just feel like, coming from where they come from down in New Orleans in that region, that the heat for them should not be a significant factor today.
Brees was 28 for 41 against the Colts the opening night, but nothing down the field. Two tight ends open up. Brees with a short drop. His pass is to Deuce Mcallister out of the backfield, and he gets up to the 27. The ball came loose, and they're still fighting for it. I believe it will stay, even though Barrett Rood, the middle linebacker, comes up with it. It will stay Saints ball as Mcallister was down a pickup of 7 on first down.
Let's take a look at it here as Deuce is just going down. Now that ball starts to come loose there. The knee looked like it was clearly down when the ball finally dislodged.
Again, two tight ends on 2nd and 3. The play fake. Brees rolling, looking, and the pass off the left arm of Devery Henderson. Tampa Bay Buccaneers will roll a lot of men on the defensive line.
Well, they have to. It's the defensive line when it's real hot and humid that are affected the most. And this is the group that Monty Kiffin will count on, the defensive coordinator, with his 4-man pressure schemes. And really believe, Sam, in rushing forward, dropping 7 to cover all the weapons that New Orleans will put out there.
The first-round draft pick, Gaines Adams, is in at defensive right end. Greg White is in as well. Brees on 3rd down, under pressure. It's dropped again. Brees had 5 passes dropped against the Colts last week. He has another drop here, and after gaining 7 yards on first down, the Saints fail to convert.
And you got to give it to the Bucs on defense for basically 2 downs, not even giving up the 3 yards. And they started hot last week against Seattle, if you remember at the start of that game. They just couldn't play and finish it for a full 4 quarters.
Mark Jones, who was re-signed, is back deep. David Boston was released. Fair catch, wait for it. He's got it on the 21-yard line. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by their new quarterback, Jeff Garcia. 6 different starting quarterbacks since 2004 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're hoping that Jeff Garcia will bring stability to this team.
Well, hard to bring stability with his style of play. And I love Jeff Garcia and had a magical year in Philadelphia last year. But I really think they want him to be patient today and not be so sporadic in terms of hitting that first read and breaking the pocket. I think what they want to see him do is just run the system. Take what the defense gives you if you're Jeff Garcia.
Cadillac Williams is in and at the top of the eye with B.J. Askew as the fullback. Williams tried to get away, but he's thrown for a loss. Good penetration by the defensive end, Charles Grant.
And that's the area, again, talking about that defensive line. Charles Grant, Will Smith, Brian Young there, number 66. This group, and Kendrick Clancy is new, but for the most part, this group has given Tampa Bay fits over the years. And as I said in the open, Pettigrew and Aaron Sears brought in the offseason to try to get those guys blocked at the line of scrimmage.
Ernest Graham is in and goes in motion. Cadillac Williams to the sideline. Quick out to to Galloway. He gets up to the 19, and it'll be 3rd and 12. So one play for Cadillac Williams, and he went off to the sideline.
Well, and we'll show that hit that he took last week against Seattle when Lofatutupu hit him. He thought right away that his ribs were broke, so didn't do anything really all week. Took some reps on Friday and just in shorts and ran around. They worked him out. John Gruden and the boys had him out here, so they were going to put the pedal to the metal on the Cadillac in the pregame, and clearly at least he could start. We'll have to update him as we move along here.
Michael Clayton, Joey Galloway, and Ike Hilliard, 3 wide receivers. Hilliard had a good game last week in Seattle. On 3rd and 12 movement by the left guard, the rookie Aaron Sears.
78 offense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
Sears out of Tennessee. They love him. He was a 2nd-round draft pick. They think he'll be a really solid lineman.
Well, he's a mauler. He's 330 pounds. He's a big dude. But I tell you, little mistakes like that, and you get this offense in 3rd and 15 plus, it'll be a long day now for Tampa if they don't execute better on first, second down.
Ernest Graham in the backfield, 3 wide receivers for Tampa on 3rd and 17. Garcia with time, short to Ike Hilliard, spins up to the 24-yard line, way short of the 1st down. Jason David made the tackle for New Orleans, a name that everybody heard nationally when Peyton Manning burned him for 3 touchdowns, but the coaches felt he's come back with a strong week of practice.
You better have thick skin if you're a corner in this league and a short memory. All 3 of those touchdowns weren't his fault either if you watch some of the safety play on those plays.
The punt by Josh Bidwell. Reggie Bush is deep. It's toward the sideline. They let it bounce at the 41. Took a Saints bounce and is down by Ryan Neese. But good field position for New Orleans at the 44-yard line. Nothing going yet offensively for either team. On the left is Sean Payton in his 2nd year. He used to work for John Gruden in Philadelphia when Gruden was the offensive coordinator. Sean Payton was his quarterback's coach in 1999. Straight ahead goes Deuce Mcallister for about 4 yards up to the 48-yard line. That is Quincy Black, the rookie linebacker on special teams, breathing heavily after going down hard on coverage.
Tell me the humidity and the heaviness of this air doesn't take its toll on those guys.
Reggie Bush in the lineup at the running back position. Aaron Stecker is split out wide. It's Bush carrying. And out of bounds just across the midfield line.
Talking to Sean Payton last night, what's your best personnel group? I was talking, well, we like the Pony 21 with Deuce and Reggie Bush on the field together, and we like the 11s where Reggie gets out as basically as a 3rd wide receiver. He said he wants to see Reggie first and foremost as a running back, and he said he tells him that all the time. So I think Reggie wants to hear it, but I'm constantly telling him, look, you're a great receiver, all that. You're a running back first on this football team. Really feels like he's going to have a nice game today.
And Bush is out to the left side. Mcallister in the backfield. Mcallister carrying a nice big hole, and he's got a 1st down at the Bucs 43. Once again, the Bucs say the ball came loose. They claim to have it, and I believe once again it was that Mcallister was ruled down.
It's a little cutback. He's going to get up in the crease right there. Barrett Roots trying to get that thing. That thing came out. That ball looked like it was out before that left knee was down.
And there's a challenge flag thrown by Tampa Bay. They will challenge down by contact. This is the first year that down by contact can be challenged in replay. And what would happen here would be if the challenge is upheld, Tampa Bay would gain possession of the ball.
Here's the thing: they've got to first see if it was a fumble. Then after that, they've got to watch the replay to see if they can clearly see who recovered it. Right. If he became a scrum at the bottom of that.
Challenge and ruling on the play that the runner was down.
26-year veteran Jerry Austin from Greensboro, North Carolina is our referee today. He'll make the ruling on the challenge that this was a fumble by Deuce Mcallister. On the Saints' first possession, the ball came out, but it was ruled that Deuce Mcallister was down. Here, Tampa Bay is challenged. as they are going for the ball. Here comes Jerry Austin with the ruling. So this is an early key point.
To me, it looked like the ball was clearly out, and it was headed straight down, the football out of Deuce's hands before his left knee touches, and that's what you need to look at. It's hard to see the football as Barrett Ruud, heck of a job, is going to try to yank it out right here. Now that ball, you can see it. It's headed down right there, and behind it, the knee was not down yet. So that, to me, looks like a fumble. Not down by contact. Now, to take it a step further, they've got to see who clearly recovered it at the bottom of that pile. And this is where Gerald Austin, Sam, may have an issue. Because to me, the ball is out. Now, as it's out, and it's not down by contact, who recovers this first? Does Deuce Mcallister have it there on the ground? Or right there, if Barrett Ruud pulls it away from him, is he the guy who recovered it first? This is going to be a tough one for Gerald Austin, I think, to call. And it looks like Deuce may got swiped across the eye right there. You can see that little mouse developing up in his left eyelid.
We've had a delay because there may be a communication problem upstairs because Jerry Austin had to use a different headset to communicate upstairs. Video this year is in high definition in most of the stadiums in the NFL.
And you got to wonder about, preseason football and really the lack of reps guys get if it lends itself to more fumbles early in the year. And I think if you look at the numbers, look at that. And the less reps guys have gotten in training camp going into week one, and this year more than ever where they're resting guys. Look at all the fumbles by the running backs in week one.
We were in St. Louis. Steven Jackson fumbled twice last year, fumbled twice back to back in the third quarter.
That's right. So you got to keep guys healthy. You got to keep them fresh and all that through training camp. But you just wonder, without all the full contact and all, it's been 7-8 months for these guys since they've been in a live football game.
And they try to protect them, and yet first game, all we heard from in New York was injuries, and Tom Coughlin bemoaning some of his. Here in Tampa, John Gruden said, we got to stop getting hurt. I mean, he was half joking, but that's a factor. Waiting on the.
This is going to be a big call now, and I think he's enjoying the AC right there.
Oh, I see.
Getting under that big old hoodie.
They had a big cheer as they showed Mike Alstott on the video board here in Tampa, and of course, Mike, great hero for the Bucs, who is out on IR all season.
There's going to be a big call here in which way this goes, because if you reference back to New Orleans last year and their turnovers, and every team, you win the turnover battle more times than not, you're going to win the game. But this team, even more than most last year, and even Drew Brees told us, he said, look, we win that turnover battle in the playoffs in the championship game against Chicago, we walk out on our way to the Super Bowl.
Our question to him was, what did you learn from that game against the Bears, the NFC Championship? He said, protect the ball, you win the game.
Security, absolutely.
Now, referee Jerry Austin has taken the long look and will let us in on his decision. As both coaches await, this is a Tampa Bay challenge.
There was difficulty with the replay, but after seeing the play, the call is reversed to a fumble. It'll be Tampa Bay's ball, 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line.
That's the right call.
4th giveaway of the season for New Orleans. The challenge works. No timeout is charged. John Gruden, if he wins another challenge in this game, would get a 3rd.
That's right. 2 for 3. And that's what Tampa's got to get back to. And John knows it. His defense has got to continue to force turnovers. Look at the magical year they went to the Super Bowl. Like they were getting splash plays everywhere and pulling that ball back from the opponent.
Cadillac Williams back in with B.J. Askew as the fullback. The tight end, Alex Smith, in motion. The play fake, Garcia steps up. Got away, wide open Alex Smith. Inside the 30, out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Time to check out the Rams and the 49ers for that. Let's go to Kurt Manafee.
All right, Sam. Old connection here. Mark Bulger, Torrey Holt. 12 yards later, it's good for 7. The Rams have the early lead on the 49ers, 7-0. Back to Sam and Tim.
Orlando Pace out, thanks Kurt. The Rams will be here in Tampa Bay next week. 33-yard pickup to the 24. Cadillac Williams Bounces off the pile, doesn't get much. Maybe a yard. Forward progress on the play. Will Smith, the defensive end, made the stop. The fourth-year man out of Ohio State, become one of the better defensive ends in the NFL.
He is one of the better right ends in the league. And 6'2", 285 pounds, running in the 4.4s, and plays with great leverage. Sam, this is an area now getting down near the money zone, 20-yard line and in, where Jeff Garcia said clearly he's got to be better. 2 trips into the red zone last week, only 2 field goals.
Out of the shotgun, which Garcia likes. 3 wide receivers in. Cadillac Williams to the sideline. Michael Pittman in. Tosses to Pittman. Inside the 20 with some nice moves. Down to the 12-yard line. He's got a first down. Kevin Casefaharn, the 5th defensive back in the lineup for New Orleans, made the tackle. 11-yard pickup on the play.
And this is what I was talking about earlier with Jeff Garcia, and just taking what they give you. Take the underneath stuff, and in classic West Coast style, they ran 2 or 3 receivers deep, ran off the coverage for New Orleans, and then just leaked Pittman out as a check down, wide open over the middle of the field for a first down.
John Gruden never liked the shotgun, but he's gone with it because Garcia does. Right here on first down, Garcia checks off. Does everybody know the play? Cadillac Williams behind B.J. Askew. Down to the 9-yard line. He picked up 3 yards on the play.
This is why they tell you they need to get this guy blocked right there in Bryant Young. Watch him press the front side of this play as Davin Joseph tries to block him. Look at the extension right there, and that forces the cutback. Not only does he take out Davin Joseph, but he takes out B.J. Askew as well, forces a cutback. That is a heck of a play by Bryant Young, who, Sam, is very, very underrated as a defensive tackle.
Joey Galloway and Ike Hilliard are the wide receivers. Smith, the tight end, left side. Garcia in trouble. Shoveled it out to B.J. Askew, and a loss turns into a half-yard gain. Wow, talk about improvisation.
That is big-time risk right there, and as a defensive lineman, and watch Bryant Young, he's going to be coming right from there. He's just going to go right by Aaron Sears. Head fake outside, swims and rips him, clubs and rips back inside, and Garcia with enough wherewithal, and that's his game. Improvising and at least not taking the sack.
Michael Pittman is in, along with Michael Clayton, and Garcia calls a timeout. And I guess talk over a very important play.
You draft Aaron Sears to block Bryant Young. So far, not so good.
Bucs had good drives early in the game in Seattle, but didn't get touchdowns. They want one here.
John Gruden had a chance to have Jeff Garcia be his quarterback at Oakland. Garcia, remember, in Canada for 5 years before trying to get a tryout in the NFL. Gruden gave him one with the Raiders and measured his height, his arm strength, said, sorry, right now not good enough. Eventually, Walsh gave him the chance, but Gruden looked back and said, I made a mistake back then. The one thing I didn't measure was his heart. I know he's got a lot of that. That's why he's our starting quarterback now.
Thanks, Chris. 3rd and 6 for Garcia. 3 wide receivers in. Michael Pittman in the backfield. Alex Smith motions. Everybody out. Garcia being chased, runs for it. 5, down to the 1. He's got a first down. He needed to get to the 2-yard line. A good hustling scramble by Jeff Garcia gives the Bucs a 1st and goal just inside the 2.
And that is the stuff that you can't coach. Charles Grant right here is going to come off the edge and put pressure on Jeff. Around True Blood, he's going to take off and bail. Most quarterbacks right here are sliding feet first. Look at the toughness of Jeff Garcia. And Chris Myers just talking about his heart. He's 200 pounds, a $190 of it's got to be hard.
Bucs have a tackle eligible. Donald Penn, number 70 on the right side. On the tight formation, Cadillac Williams dives and he's shoved back.
Okay, guys, okay.
It has been 207 carries without a rushing touchdown for Cadillac Williams. That is the 2nd longest streak.
Interesting call down there when you know you're going to run it right up the gut with a guy who's got ribs that are absolutely smashed from last week. And right there, he almost takes a shot on the left side of those ribs.
Couldn't get over the pile. The ball is spotted at the 1-yard line. Cadillac Williams and B.J. Askew in the backfield. Tackle eligible, right side. Cadillac, he's got it. Touchdown. '209 carries between touchdowns on the ground for Cadillac Williams, but he finally punches it in. And the Bucs have their first offensive touchdown of the season, and they take the lead.
Think those ribs are feeling a little better now?
Much better now.
That's what this team needed. They needed some confidence to get on the board.
Matt Bryant for the extra point. Josh Bidwell the holder. And the Bucs, they get the turnover on the fumble. A good challenge. They get the ball, they drive down, and Cadillac Williams converts from 1 yard out.
Let's give that group up front some credit as well. Alex Smith with a real nice block, sealing the edge for Cadillac Williams.
Not easy to play in this weather. 95 degrees, humid. Jeff Garcia gets some attention. The defense breathing heavily. And hydrate.
You listen to Joey Galloway. He said this may be a 2 or 3 IV day for him.
Matt Bryant's kickoff is short this time. Up comes Lance Moore from the 10. And he is covered and wrestled down at the 22-yard line. 3 players are in, led by the rookie, Savvy Piscatelli. Barrett Ruud had a big fumble recovery to start Tampa Bay going. Tim, for years, the Bucs defense was the standard by which other defenses were measured.
And it was all about that pass rush up front. You saw Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice, Anthony McFarland. These guys used to get big-time pressure and splash plays without blitzing, and Monty Kiffin could drop his 7 guys into coverage. Where has that pressure gone? Boy, it hasn't been here for a couple of years. The sack numbers have been down big time if you take a look at them. And Monty Kiffin this year in that defense, look at that. I mean, that's a significant drop-off. They went out and drafted Gaines Adams in the first round, the 4th overall. You see him right there, number 90, to bring that pass rush back.
Third possession for New Orleans. Reggie Bush in the backfield. David Payton is in at 1 wide receiver. Bush weaving his way, dropped the ball again. Big pile up. The fight on for the ball. Who's at the bottom of the pile?
Well, Barrett Ruud, I know, knocked it loose again. Well, so far, that guy has been everywhere. They're trying to run up the gut, and he's coming in with that right arm every time and batting it out.
And he's done it on 3 possessions. It's still New Orleans ball. The first time, McAllister fumbled, but his knee was down. The second time, on the challenge, it was ruled a fumble, and here Reggie Bush fumbled, but the Saints get it back.
Well, you got to love his patience here. He doesn't overrun it. Watch the right hand. Just pulls and strips that hand off the football, and the ball goes to the ground. And Barrett had 13 tackles against Seattle last week and told us, you know what, it wasn't a very good game for me. It was one of those games, first game jitters. I wasn't tackling real well, kind of hanging on, letting my feet die. He's back to the basics today, and he's jarring that ball loose.
His 7th NFL start. Gain of 5 for New Orleans. Straight ahead, McAllister. It's up close to the 30-yard line. He'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Cato June, number 59, came over from the Indianapolis Colts, made the tackle. He's a signing, but only for 1 year, Tim.
Curious of why they only signed him to 1 year. You know, in free agency, it looked like he was going to hit the market and hit it running with a big-time deal, and it didn't happen for him around the National Football League.
The re-signed Sammy Davis is in as a 5th defensive back and playing the outside corner for Tampa Bay. Reggie Bush splitting out wide left, going empty backfield. The Bucs jumped across and a flag is thrown. I didn't think there was contact.
If anything, it's unabated because they got so far past the line of scrimmage. Unabated to the quarterback. They get past the offensive lineman. Usually the official is going to throw a flag. Maybe they'll pick this one up, Sam, considering they did get back behind their side of the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped.
There's no foul on the play. The defender got back. It's 3rd down.
Right on with that. Ron Payton sending in the play. 3rd and 2 for the Saints. Once again, they go empty backfield. Reggie Bush is out left. Aaron Stecker to the right. Breeze gets time and completes to Reggie Bush. A 1st down up to the 37-yard line. Sammy Davis and Rondé Barber covering on the play.
You give Reggie Bush this kind of cushion. Here's Sammy Davis right here. Watch Tenard Jackson, excuse me, right there. And then, I mean, they're just going to back up in the zone. Reggie's just going to turn around past the first down sticks. And they run off. They run off one of the receivers, and then Reggie just turns around and gets the first down. There's Sammy Davis there, who's going to get a lot of run today with the injury to Brian Kelly.
Was with San Francisco last year, 3 years in San Diego prior. Deep throw by Breeze. He had a man, but it's knocked away, intended for David Payton. Let's get an update on what Carolina is doing. Let's go to Kurt Menefee.
Sam, this is why you started Steve Smith in your fantasy league today. Look at this catch against Houston. But this is not it. Not a replay, same quarter, game not even 10 minutes old. Steve Smith already 2 touchdowns in the game. Carolina up 14-0 quickly. Back to Sam and Tim.
Oh, you got it, Kurt. I mean, that's the story. He's the #1 threat for Carolina.
Arguably the best receiver in the game.
2nd and 10 for the Saints. Deuce Mcallister. The ball is there. Big hit by Jermaine Phillips. The safety brought a big O from Tim. T-Rock, you like that hit?
You gotta love that. That's Tampa Bay defense. Remember all the days where Lynch was filling up the hole? This is what a strong safety does. And you'll just watch him. He is going to flash in here and hit Deuce Mcallister face up. Pow! Right there. And Deuce at 230-plus pounds goes nowhere. That's a big-time tackle in the hole by your safety, Jermaine Phillips.
Here's 3rd and 5 for the Saints. Gaines Adams in at defensive end for the Bucs. Rolling Breeze. Trying to get it to Marcus Colston. Good play by Philip Buchanan. Buchanan's got a lot of pressure on him as he's filling in for Brian Kelly, who's out with a groin injury.
And Buchanan knows this defense. Was here about half the year last year. They wanted him to be physical today. This is physical football. Watch him come up with his right hand right there and pull Colston's right arm down away from the football.
Good
nice job.
Defense by the Bucs so far. Steve Weatherford's punt to Mark Jones, and he returns it. And takes a hit, bounces off, and goes down at the 22-23 yard line. Bucs playing well. 40-yard punt by Rutherford. But the Bucs have a 7-0 lead. Try to stay cool.
Saints corner Jason David, a weekend from hell last week. The ex-Colt who signed as a free agent with New Orleans. We all saw it. We all heard about it. Facing his former team, getting burned. Part of 3 touchdown passes. Now, he told me before this game, he said, I knew they were going to pick on me, and I take full responsibility. And when I asked him who gave him the best advice during the week after a game like this, he said a friend of his called him from Denver and pointed out that Champ Bailey had been burned by the Bengals but then came back to be a star. He said he slept well, no nightmares. In fact, he called Sam and Tim this week his best week of practice since he's been in the NFL.
Sat with defensive coordinator Gary Gibbs, and they went over the tape together and talked about technique. Thank you, Chris. Chris wearing extra sunscreen today. That pass tip, first incompletion for Jeff Garcia in the game. He had been 5 for 5. Well, the pennant races, 2 weeks left, Tim. And next Saturday, it's Milwaukee and Atlanta. Milwaukee alive in the National League Central. The Mets taking on the Marlins. Mets in first place. National League East. Phillies trying to hang in there with them. Great baseball.
That wild card.
Oh, it's great. Great. Cadillac Williams in the backfield on the draw play. Looking for Hill somewhere. Gets across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. Charles Grant in on the stop. Cadillac, who took the hard hit from Lofa Tatupu of Seattle last week.
And watch Lofa Tatupu come right there. 51, put his helmet right on the left side. Whack! Right there on the ribs. Another angle at it. You don't hit anybody more flush than that on their ribs. And Cadillac said it right there. He's like, my ribs are broke. He thought he was done.
Knocked him out of the game, but he's back in. Just in practice up until Friday. Garcia on 3rd down. Lofting it for Alex Smith, but way overthrown. Good coverage by Scott Fujita, the linebacker on the play.
Alex Smith was jogging. I don't think he knew that he was the primary threat right there. Because Jeff had great time and saw him matched up on a linebacker. That's what you want out of your flex tight end. Matched up on Fujita. Alex Smith looked like he was running about half speed right there down the seam.
Scott Fujita has been a good signing for the New Orleans Saints. His 2nd year since coming over from Dallas.
Just a multifaceted player. Can do so much in the run and the pass.
Josh Bidwell's 2nd punt. The 3 and out. Good high kick. Reggie Bush watches it go out of bounds. That's a great punt by Josh Bidwell, out of bounds at the 21-yard line. 53-yard punt, and we go down to the sweating Chris Myers.
We're trying to keep cool. So anytime you get a cloud, it's a good thing. For Drew Brees, he's a quarterback who wears contact lenses, and last year in the championship game, it was extremely cold weather. One of his lenses knocked out. They didn't have the replacement, so he had to go through a play without seeing clearly. They carry those replacement lenses on the sideline. There was another issue last week against the Colts, and with the heat and humidity, it causes extra liquid to drip into the eye, so they're having to keep those lenses well rinsed so that he can see clearly. Sam?
Field thermometer says a little over 100 degrees. Wow. Deuce Mcallister on first down gets a couple of yards on the play. What about wearing the dark jerseys? How does that affect the players?
It's a factor for sure. Now the sun's not out, and right now at least the clouds are up there, so they're not attracting as much heat as if the sun rays were pounding on them. But there's no doubt that the dark jerseys and the dark colors out in the sun will take its toll. Listen, this heat is not about right now. It's about what happens in the fourth quarter. That's when we'll see, I think, evidence of how hot it is today.
Payton, Colston, and Henderson, the wide receivers. The play fake to Reggie Bush. Swing it out to Bush with a little room. 3 men surround him and bring him down just short of the 30-yard line. Tampa with a good job of going right to the ball.
Well, they're playing zone, and then they're just keeping everything up in front of them. They had everybody covered in that cover 2 zone deep. And Brees, like any quarterback should, saw the guys were covered deep, so he went underneath to Reggie Bush. Now, the whole thing, and if you go back to that Indy game, and I know Monty Kiffin was talking about it, we were talking to him on Friday, their ability in Indianapolis in the opener to really body rock all those receivers after the catch did not give anything in terms of runs or yards after the catch. That's what the Bucs want to parallel today.
3rd and 2. Mike Carney motions the toss to Mcallister. Here they go. Mcallister did not follow Carney's block. Cato June comes up to make the tackle, and the Saints are forced to punt. Good first quarter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Breathing heavy in the heat, but they've made some good plays, and they lead 7-0 end of the first. Tough day to play football. Start of the second quarter, Steve Weatherford's second punt of the game. Third, up in the air, caught by Mark Jones. On the return of a couple of yards, he is pushed back as he gets to the 32-yard line. Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 7-0 lead. Their defense has played well. Defensive line for New Orleans. They've got to rotate the players in and out. They've used 6 so far.
They've got Hollis Thomas in there right now, along with Antoine Lake and Josh Cooper. You see the 3 guys there in the rotation.
Bucks come out 3 wide receivers. Anthony Beck, the tight end, to the right side. Here's Cadillac Williams, 7th carry of the game. Fights his way for about 2 yards. He has 7 carries for 7 yards in the game.
Well, you go back a couple of years when he was drafted 3 years ago and Rookie of the Year, and the year that he put together that season. And then started slow the next year, and then I'll tell you, the expectations for this guy after that year 1 was he's going to be a 1,500-yard back.
Hurry up offense. Alex Smith is in now. Garcia steps back. So confusion here. Wide receivers, Cadillac carries. Good penetration on the play by Scott Shanley. Let's go downstairs to Chris.
Well, in his rookie year, the shoes that he wore that actually injured his feet in his second season are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame for the great year he had. Here, though, they wanted him to practice with a flak jacket. He said it was too big to carry the ball safely, so they customized and hand-sewed a certain type of padding, and their trainer has a couple of different sets that they can change to through the course of the game if he is not comfortable. And again, he said he was about 90%. One good thing about the heat, though, he said it helped warm him up in a hurry.
Cadillac stays in. Michael Pittman is in on 3rd and 11. Once again, Garcia
showing blitz. Let's see if they bail out. No, here it comes.
Some pressure. Hits Galloway. Galloway's gone. Joey Galloway. Touchdown Buccaneers! 69 yards. Looked like a very simple play.
Well, they hit him just perfect with the blitz. The middle of the field opened up. Joey Galloway just on really what was a tight post or a slant route. Bad angle by the safety or by Jason David. You take a bad angle on him and give him open field, there's nobody that's going to catch him.
Galloway's the guy who burned New Orleans last season to keep the Bucs in the game.
Like a heck of a block by Michael Clayton, too, on the safety to spring Galloway out there.
And suddenly the Bucs take a 2-touchdown lead. Matt Bryant's extra point is good. Joey Galloway off to a good start. They cut down his practice time. He doesn't have to work on Wednesday, but he's working on Sunday.
Love it. Sam, here's the touchdown. Joey Galloway on your right, Michael Clayton on your left. First of all, really bad technique right there by Jason David. But on a crossing route, man coverage, Joey gets it. Now watch the block by Michael Clayton right there on Kevin Casehorn that springs Galloway for the long touchdown.
69-yarder for the 13-year veteran Joey Galloway. Matt Bryant kicking off. Lance Moore is deep, another short kick. Moore at the 9. Looking for an opening, and he is hit by Ernest Graham and shoved back. Forward progress just across the 25-yard line. 16-yard return. Michael Clayton started his NFL career a great rookie year, but he's gone down.
Injuries have been a major problem for him. And you look at what he did as a rookie coming out of LSU. We thought he was going to be a 10-year guy here, putting up 70, 80 catches every year. And the injuries, I think a shoulder injury and some other things, have taken his career south and actually got beat out as the number 2 wide receiver. Look at this block again. Pow! On Kevin Casehorn. That is a big-time block.
5th offensive series for New Orleans. They punted 3 times and they fumbled once. Reggie Bush can't get outside. Beautiful tackle on the play by the middle linebacker, Barrett Ruud. Let's check out the pack in New York. Kurt Menefee.
Sam, the Green Bay Packers get their first offensive touchdown of the year, and it's courtesy of the former Florida Gator. Deshaun Wynn takes it in, and the Packers lead the Giants 7-0. Sam and Tim.
It's middle of the second quarter. And another start for the great Brett Favre.
I got to tell you, Kurt, Sam, this guy right here is playing his tail off Barrett Ruud.
Stecker out wide right. Breeze runs for it, and he's brought down at the 28-yard line. They've picked up a yard on the play. The pocket collapsed right away. Big-time pressure by Kevin Carter.
What is going on with this New Orleans offense? They were number 1 in the league last year, ripping people up, big plays all over the place. So far, nothing in week 1 and nothing here to start the game against the Tampa Bay Bucs, who have played terrific. Look at that, terrific on defense.
Just 49 yards thus far in the game, and the Buccaneers called timeout as their defense was a little confused. If you follow Nebraska football at all, you've heard the name Ruud. I mean, it goes back to his grandfather at the University of Nebraska. He's got a brother playing there now. And Barrett Ruud, the 3rd-year middle linebacker, getting a chance to start this year, and he's doing well.
Played well last week and played well today on Reggie Bush. Maybe a little payback from the game last night.
What do the Saints do here?
Sam, they got to get it to a wide receiver. I don't think Drew Brees has found one of his wideouts yet in the football game.
3 for 7, all to the backs. This time he hits Devery Henderson. Excuse me, Marcus Colston, who went up. Beautiful catch for a first down at the 42-yard line. Pick up a 14.
Look at how good they've been up until that play right there. That defense, that's old Buck defense right there. And Barrett Ruud says, if I feel anything in terms of the pressure, it's not replacing Shelton Quarles. That's not where the pressure is. The pressure is living up to the standard of Buck defense and what these players and what these fans have expected around here.
James Adams in at defensive end for the Bucs. On first down, it's Deuce Mcallister. Finding his way through the hole, gets up to the 49-yard line. He picked up 6 on the play. Barrett Ruud made the tackle.
And And they need to, I think they need to be patient and run Deuce Mcallister. You know, the Indy game 10-10 at half, I didn't think he had enough carries. I think only 6 touches in that first game. And you just keep pounding him inside, and he will wear guys down, and he will pop one, and he will break one. Said his knee, Sam, this year versus last year, not even close in terms of how good he feels versus a year ago.
Well, Miller, the tight end in motion, straight ahead. The fullback, Mike Carney. It's across midfield and just a little short of the first down.
Deuce Mcallister, remember 2 years ago he had that ACL injury and Pro Bowl back before that. And said coming into this year and having a year's rest and playing last year and getting back in the mix, he said the knee is so much more explosive and wants to get back to where not only is he running over linebackers and safeties, but he's running away from corners, the long touchdowns. That's something that's been missing in his game over the last couple of seasons since the injury.
He told his guys on the offensive line, 60 yards and in, I'm good. I'll take it all away. They're bringing out the change, but this is going to be a little short of the first down.
This crowd is cranked up here today.
They are. A home opener for the Bucs, about the length of a football, 3rd and less than a yard for New Orleans. And the Saints need to sustain a drive here.
Again, they got to find their wideouts. One time today they've gotten the ball to somebody other than a running back, and that was that last first down to Marcus Colston.
Breeze is 4 for 8 for 34 yards. In last year's game here early November, Breeze was just lit it up, passing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2 tight ends, Owens and Johnson. And it's the big fullback Mike Carney for a first down. Good strength by Carney. Needed less than a yard. He picked up close to 10 on the play.
Right up the gut. That's just the old 2-hole dive. And watch this group in here and the movement that they're going to get on these players. Jari Evans right out on Derek Brooks, and then Hovan washed down by Jeff Fain. That created the big gap, the big crease in there for Carney.
Carney stays in with Mcallister. Blitz coming. Mcallister, big hole. And turns it into a nice gain down to the 23-yard line. He picked up 16 on the play.
Watch the defensive tackles. They're going to split. They catch him on the blitz. Hole right up the gut. See, both defensive tackles split right there, and then Derek Brooks was coming on a blitz. Caught him just perfect with that little lag draw call. Nice play call by Sean Payton.
They moved it back a yard, given 15 on the carry. Mcallister 8 carries for 42 yards. 2 tight ends in, Reggie Bush in the backfield. On first down, it's Reggie Bush. Slipped away from Kevin Carter. The ball's knocked loose and was recovered by one of the linemen. It popped in the air. That's an alert play.
Derek Brooks came over there, and I think he put his helmet right on the football. That's a couple of fumbles for Reggie in this game.
And it was the tight end, Eric Johnson, who caught the ball.
Look at Derek Brooks, put the crown of his helmet right on the football. Very fortunate that went straight up, and Eric Johnson was able to get it. Look at this.
What a job the Bucs have done of popping the ball loose in this game.
That's Buck football, isn't it? Listen to that. Tell me old D. Brooks can't still play.
On 2nd and 8, Bush trying to get outside. Carter with a good ankle tackle. Time for an update from the Meadowlands. Let's go to Kurt Menefee.
All right, Sam. There was a rumor that Eli Manning might not play for a month. He started today, and look at what he does. Finds Plexico Burress in the end zone, and the Giants get on the scoreboard to even it at 7 apiece in the second against Green Bay. Back to Sam and Tim.
Eli hasn't missed the start.
They give him about 8 seconds to throw that ball.
You need that. Mcallister and Bush in the lineup on the 10th play of this drive. They have to get to the 14. They go to the end zone. Off the hands of Devery Henderson. Sammy Davis covering on the play.
Pretty decent coverage by Sammy Davis. A great throw will beat great coverage. This one needed to be caught. Perfect throw by Drew Brees. just on the fingertips of Devery Henderson. That would have been a tough catch, but you'd like to see your guy hang on to those for 6.
Orlando Murray. Orlando Murray comes in. This will be a 38-yard attempt. Steve Weatherford, the holder. Hauser, the long snapper, and the kick is no good. Murray was 1 for 2 last week in Indianapolis, misses. And the Saints waste an opportunity. They needed points.
How do you get rid of John Carney in the offseason? Tell me, will you? Look at the big fellas.
They'll be losing some poundage. The play fake by Garcia. Goes short to Ike Hilliard, and Fujita knocks him down, knocked him out of bounds. It's ruled incomplete, I believe. Yes. Fujita with the hit.
I guess getting to the drawing board this week in the film room and on the practice field worked offensively for Tampa Bay. That confidence got going early. First quarter, Alex Smith got the nice pass, and Jeff Garcia with a couple of nice drives, puts his head down to the 1-yard line. That got the confidence cranked up, and since then they really haven't looked back.
Garcia 6 for 9, 125 yards. The inside handoff to Cadillac Williams. It's a couple of yards up to the 32, pickup of 3 on the play.
Haven't been a lot of running lanes in there for Carnell Williams. We saw in the touchdown he had to bounce out and got to the edge and got in the end zone, but so far his yards per carry, I don't even think he's at a yard a carry. So New Orleans has done a heck of a job at the point of attack versus the run. Look at that, 9 rushes, only 7 yards.
Michael Pittman in. Antoine Lake has come in at defensive tackle for the Saints. Kevin Case-Maharn, a 5th defensive back. Everybody out. Garcia going up top for Galloway. Overthrown. Covered by Mike McKenzie. That's a great veteran matchup.
John Gruden has got a lot of respect for Mike McKenzie and his ability to bump and run. And there's the matchup for you. Mike always stays on the left, so whenever Joey's over there, he's going to get on there. He's just going to run with him. Not many guys can run with Joey Galloway. He was in his hip pocket on that takeoff route the whole way.
Josh Bidwell comes out for his 3rd punt of the game. Lance Moore is deep for the Saints. And the flag comes out.
I think Maurice Stovall standing out as a gunner.
85 offense, 5 yards. It's 4th down.
The Bucs have alternated punts and touchdowns on their 5 possessions. 3-and-out punt, then a second possession touchdown, 3-and-out punt, touchdown on the 4th possession, and here 3-and-out in the punt.
And I like the fact that they're being patient and they're trying to run the football. Even though I haven't been there for Carnell Williams, they've kept New Orleans off balance by at least trying to establish a running game.
Oh, good high punt by Bidwell. Fair catch waited for by Lance Moore. Juggled it and holds on at the 27-yard line.
And this Bucs defense, and it's been good today so far with Javon Hay at the 3 technique. And this is the guy, and you say a 3 technique because that's outside shade on the guard. Warren Sapp was about as good as it got at playing that 3 technique. You couldn't run front side on him. Anytime he'd get in a one-on-one matchup, he'd win. Keith Millard, same thing. Back with Monty Kiffin and the boys up there in Minnesota. John Randall as well, when Tony Dungy and Monty Kiffin were up there. That 3 technique is the premier position on the defensive line up front for Monty Kiffin.
Why do they call it?
Well, they call it a 3 technique because a 0 technique is head up on the center. A 1 technique is outside shade on the center. A 2 technique would be like if I'm lining up on your inside shade of the guard on your inside shoulder, which would make your 3 technique outside shoulder. It's just an alignment on the offensive lineman. 3 technique is always an alignment for a D tackle outside shade of an offensive guard.
Buck, the Saints start from the 26. They set up the screen to Aaron Stecker. He's slowed down, flags everywhere. And a great tackle by Rondé Barber. That never got going as Barber broke it up.
Well, not only did Barber make the tackle, he got held by Jamar Nesbitt before he made the tackle, who just grabbed him by around the
Holding,
neck.
number 67 of the offense, 10 yards, repeat 1st down.
That's why Rondé's the best tackling corner in pro football. You have to hold him and he still gets in on the tackle. Little screen. Watch just get pulled down right there by Nesbitt and still gets in on the tackle on Stecker.
Now, Rondé's not ready to do a tiki and retire, is he?
No. He says they're going to have to carry him off until he's done. But he says, you know what, after every game, I got to kind of reevaluate. I go look in the mirror and go, wait a minute. What did I say before?
1st and 20. McAllister in the backfield. Stecker, the other back, is split out. McAllister finds a hole. Runs into Jermaine Phillips at the 22-yard line. Saints moving people in and out. So Tampa Bay on the defensive line. Hovan, Spires, Hay, and Gaines Adams. Kevin Carter have balanced out most of the playing time. Greg White and the rookie Greg Peterson getting a chance to play.
And right now they should be able to take advantage, if they can, of this defensive line with the rookies out there. They're just going with a 3-man front here, trying to keep everything New Orleans does up in front of the first down sticks.
Breeze pointing things out to his center, Jeff Fain. Reggie Bush in the lineup. The short throw to McAllister off his hands. Flags on the play. Looks like there was holding. Yes,
it was
holding
Jamal
on New Orleans.
Brown, the left tackle. Greg White was coming around the corner. He was going to get in on the quarterback, and Jamal Brown just pulled him down.
And Sean Payton looking on.
Holding, number 70 of the offense. 10 yards. Repeat, second down.
Where is the sync? His offense is out of sync.
There he is, right there, number 91. He's going to run the corner. See, he's got the edge right now.
Ooh,
Jamal Brown's just got to pull him down, or he rips up the backside of Drew Brees right there.
The ball is all the way back to the 12-yard line. They've got to get to the 36 for a first down. Saints with 107 total yards in the game. Reggie Bush in the backfield. Takes the handoff on the draw. Slipped a couple of men. Takes a couple of hard hits. And only gets up to the 15. That was a hard run and a tough run for 3 yards.
And Barrett Root is just bringing the hat every time he's got an opportunity. Take a listen to this. Look at all the white jerseys pursuing to the football. That's how the Bucs do it.
3rd and 20.
What's going on with New Orleans against this defensive style? Go back to the championship game against Chicago, week 1 against Indy, now Tampa. This cover 2 scheme has given them a lot of problems over their last 3 games.
You're right. A lot of crowd noise. Breeze waiting. Finds a man. It's Lance Moore. And it is just short of a first down, about a yard short. The second-year receiver out of Toledo picks up 19 on the play.
Sean Payton's thinking about going for it here. Boy, this is a risky play here. Down 14. Not even on your own 35-yard line. You got over a yard for the first, and you're going to try to jam it.
He's telling his guys, we need it. 2 tight ends, Eric Johnson and John Owens. And now the official steps in, a timeout for the Bucs to talk it over and what they want to do defensively.
Well, and I will bet you that Monty Kiffin and the boys just want to give a reminder to the guys, look, just don't jump. Maybe they're coming to the line to see if they can get you to jump off sides and give them an easy.
What do you think of them going for it?
I don't think it's a wise move, to be honest with you, and I'm not so sure that they're just not going to try to draw them off sides.
Breeze got time, and he found Lance Moore's second NFL catch for the young receiver out of Toledo. Let's go down to the field. Chris Myers, what's going on?
Well, Sam, I don't know what's hotter here, the temperature, humidity, or the Saints coaching staff over the hole that they're in. And, you know, the Saints are a team that used to have field trips away from the field. They called it a bonding experience, you know, going to a water park. They went to the governor's mansion for dinner. Well, this summer, before training camp, they had a New Orleans-style jazz funeral, a burial of what they said were their trophies and all the success and accomplishment from last year, kind of a ceremony so that they would remember that it's a new year, a fresh start, that they would have to go out and earn whatever they earned this year. I guess the hope so far is that they didn't burn too much.
Thanks, Chris. Mike Carney and Reggie Bush in the backfield. On 4th and 1, Reggie Bush behind Carney, and he stumbles, but he gets the first down. Derek Brooks tripped him up. But Reggie got enough for the first down to keep the drive alive. It's a big comeback from the 12-yard line to get a first down and a gutsy call.
And all of this is going to be clogged up. So Reggie's just going to bounce it to the edge. To get behind the fullback seals there. Brooks just not fast enough to get over and cut Reggie off at the pass.
The rookie Quincy Black has replaced Barrett Ruud. Breeze throwing short to Bush, and he's hit hard by Derek Brooks.
I don't care if it's Brooks, if it's Barrett Ruud, if it's Jermaine Phillips, if it's Rondé Barber. Everybody's got a bad attitude in that back seven for Tampa Bay. As soon as those guys get the ball in that zone, those guys are taught just to make your break on it and go try to rattle that ball out. They've really been hitting on the back end today for Tampa.
Ryan Neeson at middle linebacker for the Bucs. On second down, Breeze with a jump pass to Carney, and Phillips with a big hit. Once again, the strong safety closing quickly, and Carney is given forward progress to the 40-yard line, and that's all.
Well, Sam, they said they wanted to be physical on defense today. Right now, they're absolutely winning that battle of physicality. They are taking it to the New Orleans Saints.
2-minute warning. Monty Kiffin's defensive game plan has been almost flawless.
So far, so good. His young guys have shown up. His old guys are leading the way. I love the way Ruud has played in this football game, his young middle linebacker.
And Barrett Ruud is back in. 3rd and 7 for the Saints. They've converted 3 out of 9 third down plays in this game. Breeze outside, miscommunication. David Patton kept running down the sideline. Breeze threw behind him.
Well, Breeze
Buchanan covered on the play.
He was under pressure again by Barrett Ruud. Look at Barrett Ruud is going to come right up inside and unblocked on the Mike linebacker blitz, right up the A gap in between the center and the guard. Nobody even touches him, and he lays down a pretty good shot on Breeze and makes him get rid of the ball too early.
4th one of the game for Steve Weatherford. Second-year man out of Illinois. Good high punt. Mark Jones waiting at the 19. Finds a lane. Couple of blocks. Up to the 35. Nice return by Mark Jones. He was released at the end of training camp and preseason and re-signed when David Boston was let go. Last year in November here in Tampa, Drew Brees dominated as he hit Marcus Colston. Colston had 11 catches. Devery Henderson had 2 touchdowns, 1 for 52 yards, 1 for 45. And New Orleans swept the season series. Tampa Bay went 0-6 in the division last season. On first down out of the shotgun, Garcia gets time, and he throws to Hilliard. He bounces off a man, and he's wrestled down at the 25. 40-yard gain.
And no huddle. They're going to press it with just 1:20 to go here.
And they have no timeouts remaining. They spot the ball to 24, a 41-yard gain.
Caught Fujita man up on Ike Hilliard, the linebacker, on his 3rd receiver. That wasn't even close. Beautiful throw from Jeff Garcia.
Let's see. New Orleans has called a timeout to set their defense. Or maybe to get a breather after running down the field.
And you know what Jeff told us on Friday about Ike Hilliard? He says, I can just trust this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you trust a guy more when you're running your 2-minute drive down the field? Fujita never had a chance.
A couple of years ago, I thought Ike Hilliard was done.
Everybody
he was supposed to retire.
Bad feet and really captured and took away the 2nd receiver job from Maurice Stovall and Michael Clayton during training camp. He won that job.
He's always had great hands coming out of the University of Florida. He was a 1st-round draft pick by the Giants, a sure-handed possession receiver throughout his career in the NFL.
And who says Jeff Garcia can't get the ball deep? We've seen him throw strikes today to Joey Galloway. Just missed on another strike to Joey, and you couldn't throw that ball any better down the seam.
How about reading the defense?
Yeah, beautiful.
Tampa Bay with 3 plays in the game of 20 yards or more. New Orleans done. Michael Pittman in the backfield. Off the play fake. Garcia with time. To the end 65 yards. And the Bucs, with a 3-touchdown lead, he beat the safety Josh Bullocks on the play.
Joey Galloway is such a good route runner, and I think Jeff Garcia looked off the safety just enough right there to give Joey enough of a crease to hammer that one in for a touch.
They've got a new hero in town. His name's Garcia. He can throw it. He's revived his career. Matt Bryant's extra point is good.
I think the beautiful thing on this, we know how fast Joey Galloway is, and there he is right there getting the run. Watch him just kind of gauge his speed down, just looks outside enough to threaten Bullocks to the outside, breaks it off in on the post, and Jeff Garcia just again threads the needle with a perfect throw. But the whole key there was Galloway, and they talked about this with Garcia and Joey on Friday, not being too fast, just kind of tempering your speed down a little bit, giving the play opportunity to develop. That was perfect.
Joey Galloway, 3 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jeff Garcia, 8 for 12, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And he's finding all kinds of guys spreading the ball around. What did I say in the open? Jeff's 37, Joey's 35. It's going to be a blast to see if these guys can still roll. Sam, I think they can still roll.
And Joey Galloway's first half work is done.
You know where he's going. You know where he's going, right? He's
Time
going
to get an IV.
Absolutely. He said he gets one in days like this. Before the game, at halftime, and depending on how it goes in the second half, many times he'll go in between the third and fourth quarter and get some intravenous fluids.
Jeff Garcia looked like his career was almost done a few years ago. We showed you that graphic. 5 different teams the last 5 years. San Francisco, Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia, now here in Tampa Bay. But he revived his career when Donovan McNabb got hurt in Philadelphia last year. And he led the Eagles to the playoffs. The short kick taken by Antoine Lake, the defensive tackle. When was the last time he returned the kick?
Probably never.
Maybe in Pop Warner. 10-yard return. Don't forget the Visa Halftime Report is coming up. Kurt, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy standing by in the studio. Scores and highlights. Check the Fox Sports ticker for all your fantasy stats. And it's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report. Just under a minute to go in the first half, and the Saints
defensively, they've been shredded with the big plays. And that Fujita told us on yesterday, he says, you know what, the big plays have crushed us. And if you look at their first 6 quarters of this season, Indy and now Tampa, they have got hammered with the plays of 20-plus.
3 wide receivers and Reggie Bush in. That pass tipped and falls incomplete. Intended for Marcus Colston, who is covered by Rondé Barber.
And this is when you get a 21-point lead. This is when Monty Kiffin's style of defense, this is when you see all the cover 2. Everybody says, oh, cover. Monty doesn't even play a lot of cover 2 unless they're up by 10 points. Here with a 21-point lead, this is exactly what he wants. He'll keep his safeties deep, and the cover 2 is built to deny the big play. Keep everything in front of him.
New Orleans Saints have now played a game and a half and have yet to score a touchdown, an offensive touchdown. Breeze gets sacked. Greg White, the first-year man out of Minnesota, with his first career sack.
He's going to be right here, coming off the right side, a little twist game. He goes right by Jamar Nesbitt and gets the sack on Breeze there. Wasn't that guy an arena player, I think, for Jay Gruden? And they got him in here on the roster.
That's it.
Yeah, he was an MVP in the Arena League and all that stuff. That was a heck of a move right there. That's what you call a gap charge up into the B gap between the guard and the tackle.
He had 15 sacks in arena football. Pressure on Breeze again. Dumps it off to Lance Moore. Out of bounds at the 17-yard line with 5 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, if you're Sean Payton, you got to get your guys in the locker room and say, fellas, we got to settle down. We aren't doing anything right. Whether it's offense and whether it's defense and trying to cover guys on the big play, whether it's offense and trying to protect your quarterback and Drew Brees, they have had consistent pressure on him for this entire first half. And I think the evidence is that you look at his numbers, which are not very good. I think 60 yards throwing and 1 or 2 balls to his wide receivers. He does not have the time to find the rhythm that Brees is so good at.
Last play of the first half. And on 4th down, Drew Brees puts it up deep and throws it out of bounds. A tremendous first half for the home team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a 21-0 lead on the New Orleans Saints. The Heat hasn't bothered the Bucs. Their offense is rolling. The Saints are struggling. We've reached halftime with the Bucs leading. Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not get a touchdown in their opening game last week in Seattle, but have put 3 on the board. And the big connection, Jeff Garcia and Joey Galloway. The first one, a 69-yarder. As Galloway on a little slants, but the defense, they picked up the blitz. Second touchdown, 24 yards to Joey Galloway. It was a 1-yard run to start it all off by Cadillac Williams. And this game has been dominated by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. New Orleans Saints, despite having 9 days between games, have not had a chance to get anything going offensively. Well, it's a hot day here, but the band is on the field, uniform and all, and entertaining the crowd here in Tampa. It's been a good day for the Bucs in their home opener. A big division game between the Bucs and the Saints. Coming up next, it's the Visa Halftime Report.
We welcome you to the Visa Halftime Report. Kurt Menefee along with Terry, Howie, and Jimmy. And you know what? We all want whatever Joey Galloway is taking right now. He's found a fountain of youth. A big game for him and Cadillac today.
Youth serves him well. Carnell Williams, the Cadillac, out of the eye. 1-yard touchdown run. Bucks up 7-0 over the visiting Saints. Hoping not to lose 2 games on the road for this early season. Garcia back. Crossing route, slant route. 69 yards later, Howie. There it is. Galloway, get on in there. At his age, you do slow down when you got it made. There you go, touchdown, 14-0 Bucs over the Saints. Another play action. Garcia down the middle of the football field. Nice throw, nice catch, a 24-yarder to Galloway. 21-0, all Buccaneers over the Saints at halftime.
In the Meadowlands, Green Bay at the Giants.
Eli Manning, sore shoulder and all. He's starting. There it is. Brett Favre looking to pass John Elway for most quarterback wins. Brady Papinga nails Plaxico Burress personal foul. Not supposed to do that. That's Maroulin. Deshaun Wynn takes it. Little fake there. Hand it off underneath. A little fake pass. Then a little draw. Howie. 6-yard touchdown. His first of his career. Packers up 7-0. Then Manning back. 26-yard strike to Plaxico Burress. And now we got a heck of a ball game. There it is, 10-7. Giants over the Packers at half. Yeah, I'm just waiting on it. Just let it go. Just be patient.
All right.
Frank Gore of the 49ers lost his mother on Wednesday. So, Frank, we know this has to be a hard day for you. Mark Bulger, the quarterback for the Rams, 12-yard strike to Torrey Holt, 7-0. And then Frank Gore, take it in, young man. That's for Mama, you bet. 7-all at this point, but the score now early in the third quarter is 13-7. Rams over the visiting 49ers.
In Jacksonville, Warwick Dunn with a late touchdown in the first half, and the Falcons have a 4-point lead over the Jags.
Future Hall of Famer Peyton Manning gets it done. Vince Young gets it done himself, young man out of Texas. But this guy out of LSU, Joseph Adai, 8-yard touchdown run. Point after is no good, 6-0 Colts. And then Manning down the middle. Beautiful job. Dallas Clark beats the linebacker to the post, 22-yarder, and it's the Colts over the Titans at halftime, 16-6.
In Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger, 4 touchdowns last week, 4 field goals so far in this one. The Steelers with the lead.
Chad Johnson hugging the dog pound. Told everybody if he scores, he'll run and jump into the dog pound. Okay, fine. Carson Palmer, wide flare. Rudy Johnson to the house, 13-yarder, 7-0 Bengals over the Browns. Then Derek Anderson in the second quarter drops back, fade route, top of your screen to Joe Jaravicius. He takes it in from 17 yards out, 13-7 Browns over the Bengals. Then Palmer, bottom of your screen, corner route to the corner of the end zone. T.J. Husmanzada, 23-yarder, 14-13 Bengals. And then back again, look right down the middle. Good job, Joe Jaravicius takes it in from 9 yards out. Heck of a ball game. And then Palmer lays it up, wide open. There it is, Chad Johnson. Now go run into the dog pound, but you're not going to do it by yourself. You know why? Because you silly thing, it's on the other end. Get on the other end. And then Kellen Winslow Beautiful catch, takes it to the house, 25-yard touchdown, and a surprise, the Browns 27-21, 11 seconds remaining in the first half. They're over the Bengals.
Good game there. And in Carolina, Steve Smith, 2 touchdown catches. Same story for Andre Johnson. Texans with a 3-point lead. Jimmy, the Saints getting big played by Tampa. Who would have thought?
Yeah, Kurt, don't get carried away with a bunch of stats. You know, the Saints, 19 minutes of possession time. They're running the football. Big plays are the key. You look at what Tampa's doing. Jeff Garcia throwing the ball to Galloway. You know, big plays is what's the key to winning games. That's where the points come from.
Yeah, and as long as Jeff Garcia stays healthy, that gives them an opportunity to be competitive in Tampa Bay. Played well last week out on the road in Seattle. Young offensive line, young defensive line. And you have to wonder with New Orleans, Terry, whether they took that beating last week both on the scoreboard. Did they take a beating mentally last week in Indianapolis?
Could be they've been reading their clippings from the offseason, going from worst to first, and now everybody expecting so much. They're not living up to the hype. With all that offensive firepower, you would think they would at least be able to score some points. They have not been able to do it so far.
This Tampa team may be better than what people thought.
Well, New Orleans hasn't scored a touchdown yet this season. We'll see if they do it in the second half as the Visa halftime continues after.
Welcome back to Tampa. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers with you as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get set to receive the kickoff to open the second half, leading 21-0. Olindo Mare teeing it up. Mark Jones is back deep to return. The Saints certainly need a strong defensive stand to start the second half. Low line drive kick bounces down and is taken by the man Michael Clayton. Clayton on a good return gets up to the 39-yard line. So good field position to start it. So far, it's been a terrific game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their offense has been sharp, led by Jeff Garcia. The defense has been strong. How about the Saints? What can they do to turn it around?
I think the Saints still need to be patient. They're only down 21, and this offense does have the capability to be high-powered, but they got to just threaten the zone. They don't need to go for the home run. We're going to see a lot of zone this half, 10 to 15-yard range. Drew Brees just needs to pick them apart, but that O-line's got to give them better protection.
Cadillac Williams finds a good hole and gets it up to the 45-yard line. He picks up 6. Chris, what'd you find out during halftime?
Well, John Gruden said Cadillac is fine. We're going to keep giving him the football until he tells us he can't carry it anymore today. And he's going to continue to apply the heat on defense on Drew Brees. As far as Sean Payton, he darted from the sideline to the locker room without saying a word. But they can lean on last year's second game when they were down in the first half, 17-0 against the Packers. The Saints came back to win. And at least 10 Buccaneer players needed IV, but it doesn't hurt so much when you're up 21-0.
Cadillac carrying again, and he's got a first down. That's the best running he's done in the game.
They've had a couple of good runs here to start the second half, right up the gut. And obviously, when you're up 21, you can come out here and really try to grind it. Have to play keep away in terms of keeping the ball away from the defense and moving the chains. Not great numbers for him in the first half, but you know what? I thought the offensive line did a terrific job, and they got Aaron Sears in the offseason, second-round draft pick. They go get Luke Pettigrew, left tackle, number 77 there. The left side is rebuilt, and so far so good. Jeff Garcia has not been sacked, Sam, in this football game.
And then it's Alex Smith. Cadillac trying to bounce it outside and gets down to the 45-yard line. He picked up 4 on first down. You have to go back to November 21st of 2004 for the last time the Bucs had a 21-0 lead at halftime. That was against San Francisco, and they won that game 35-3.
Yep, and Sam, I was talking earlier when they first got on the board, is how they needed the confidence in their first touchdown. You think of this team offensively last year, and John Gruden and the offensive genius that he is and all that. 13 points a game is what they scored offensively through the course of the year.
On 2nd and 6, Galloway and Hilliard, the wide receivers. Garcia checking off. It's Michael Payton, and he drives his way down to the 40-yard line. Mark Simino, the middle linebacker, makes the tackle. Take a look at some numbers first half. Rushing yardage edge to the Saints. McAllister ran well while he was in there. Reggie Bush has been kept quiet, but the passing game belongs to the Bucs.
It's been the big plays for Tampa Bay. And then, of course, the fumbles, the turnovers early. In particular, the first fumble on Deuce Mcallister that Barrett Root caused, and they went right down the field and scored their first touchdown.
On the field temperature, close to 110. 3rd and 1. Cadillac Cadillac runs into a wall, and they stop him short of the first down. That's a good effort up front by the Saints. They needed that. Actually, a loss of about half a yard on the play, and the punting unit comes on for the Bucs. Good work up front. Charles Grant in on the charge along with Hollis Thomas and Brian Young.
This defense is I think, playing for pride now. I mean, a lot of people talked about their defense as being the weak link last year. They were actually pretty good, but go back to last year and then the first game this year against Indy and then this one, they have absolutely been hammered.
Lance Moore deep. Josh Bidwell with his fourth punt of the game, way up in the air. And Moore waits for a fair catch and takes it on the 11-yard line. Saints are backed up deep in their own territory. They've got a long way to go to get back in the game. Now, if you play a series and you jump into the ocean there,
I guess it's all relative. If it's 110 here, the Gulf's about 90 degrees, so I guess it would be a little bit of a cool down for you.
Good job by the Saints on defense. Now they go on offense. And Deuce Mcallister picks up a couple, gets up to the 14. Offensively, no big plays in the game for the New Orleans Saints. No plays of 20 yards or more, while Tampa Bay has had 4.
And New Orleans was the best in the league last year in terms of the big plays, over 20 plus. I think Eric Johnson needs to get in the mix in this second half. The tight end they got from San Francisco in the offseason, you're going to see a lot of zone. Historically, there he is, number 82. He's a smart guy. He's a zone buster. Knows how to sit down in those little holes in windows.
8 catches in the opening game, none so far today. Off the fake, Breeze once again a jump pass. And just a pickup of a couple of yards up to the 17-yard line. John Owens, the second tight end, the big guy out of Notre Dame. Derek Brooks made the tackle. They made a roster move, did the Saints today. They put tight end Mark Campbell, a good tight end, veteran guy, on IR. He's done for the season. And they have put on the 53-man roster
Tyler
Palco, the third quarterback. He was on the practice squad. They go empty backfield. They split out Reggie Bush and Aaron Stecker. And Breeze connects with David Payton, who gets up to the 25-yard line, a first down. His first catch of the game.
This is what they need to do, as I said, versus this zone. A lot of the medium range stuff, 10 to 15 yards, have guys sit down in the window, just work your way down the field. Be patient if you're Drew Brees and New Orleans offensively.
Well, they looked like they were getting something going when they went to the running game, and they got down to the 21-yard line, the deepest penetration, but they were stopped and had to go for a field goal. 3 wideouts in for New Orleans on first down. And there's trouble, and the sack by Javon Hay. His first sack of his NFL career.
And here's Javon Hay right here. This is the 3 technique we talked about. He's going to go by Jeff Fain, the center. Jeff turns to the right, and he just throws an inside move. He throws an inside move on the right guard, Jari Evans, and it looks like Jari was expecting help from Jeff Fain. He didn't get over there, and hey, he got him a sack. Got to love that for Javon Hay. Hey, what's happening, Drew?
Drew's having some problems. Reggie Bush bouncing it outside. Oh, the high hurdle. He went airborne and got up to the 28-yard line. Jermaine Phillips made the tackle, a pickup of 10 on the play. It's a dangerous move.
He saw Tenard Jackson was coming to check his shoe size. He said, I don't think so. I'm going to hop right over the top of you.
Bush and Stecker are in the lineup. Sammy Davis has replaced Philip Buchanan at left cornerback. He hurt his hand. 3rd and long. They have to get to the 35 for a first down. Breeze gets time. Connects with Reggie Bush. First down to the 39-yard line. Let's check out the Giants and the Packers and go to Kurt Menefee.
All right, guys. Bubba Frank's only 2 touchdowns in the last 3 seasons. But this one good enough to give the Packers a 4-point lead over the Giants. And by the way, Tim, it was Dwayne that said, hey, on what's happening.
Thank you, Kurt. Way to go. There was a flag on the play. Jerry Austin talking it over.
Reggie Bush looked like he got irritated.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 25 of the offense. They made the first down. It'll be a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10.
See, as it looks like Cato June is getting up right there. Reggie doesn't like it, gives him a shove, pushes him down. That's an easy call for the side judge.
Now the first down stands. They made the first down. They set him back 15 yards, and it's 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line.
That's a bad penalty, and Reggie didn't like the fact that Cato June was jamming that knee into his side with a little extracurricular activity. You've got to contain yourself. That's a bad penalty.
3 wide receivers, David Payton in. The play fake. Breeze wanted to go deep. Goes underneath for Marcus Colston up to the 39-yard line, and another first down. Barrett Rude made the tackle, pick up a 15. Colston's second catch of the game.
It's exactly, Sam, what they need to do and what I was talking about. I want you to watch the shell of coverage. You're going to see all these guys getting back, and they're just running guys underneath the coverage and picking up 8-12 yards a pop. See, that's the cover two. Everybody's getting back. Now you just put the brakes on right in front of the middle backer. Get yourself a nice first down.
2 tight ends, Billy Miller and Eric Johnson in for New Orleans. On first down, Breeze gets time. And it is intercepted. Intercepted by Cato June, and he is down at the 46-yard line. Last season, Drew Brees threw 65 passes against Tampa Bay with no interceptions. He's picked off here. The defense continues to come up big for Tampa Bay. Cato June stepping in front, going up, and picking it off.
Sam, watch the interception here by Cato June. I've got the arrow on him here to the right. He's going to walk over and show man coverage and get a little jam. I don't think Drew Brees ever expects to see him dropping into zone and right to the flat. Just a great job of showing Drew Brees one thing, a man look, and then dropping off the flat, getting depth, and getting a nice pitch.
11th career interception for Cato June. 2 tight ends in for Tampa Bay. Michael Pittman carries up close to midfield. Pittman in. Cadillac Williams went to the locker room briefly. He's back to the sideline. Buccaneers on offense. Last season, next to last in the league in touchdowns scored. Week 1, no touchdowns, but today, led by Jeff Garcia with 2 touchdown passes, 1 short run by Cadillac Williams. They've got 3. Garcia going deep. He's got a man, Galloway. What a catch by Galloway at the 10-yard line.
Jeff Garcia, that is why they brought Jeff Garcia here. Everybody said Jeff doesn't have a deep ball. He's 37 years old. He just put that thing on a frozen rope about 35 yards right down the middle of the field in a perfect spot versus good coverage for Joey Galloway.
41-yard gain. They spotted at the 9-yard line, 1st and goal.
Watch Roman Harper here. He's in good coverage, but Jeff puts it just out in front and low to where Joey Galloway can lay out and go get that football.
Joey Galloway having a game.
Man.
4 catches, 135 yards. Did you activate him on your fantasy pool? Cadillac to the 5, pulling his way down to the 2. That's a strong run by Cadillac Williams, led by Aaron Sears, the rookie left guard, with a strong block.
Boy, they have taken an emotional advantage and just ripped the emotion right out of New Orleans right here in this football game. And it's all been via the pass. I mean, a little bit of run here in the second half, but Jeff Garcia at will has just picked them apart with Joey Galloway.
They bring in Donald
We got
Penn,
70,
number 70, second-year tackle. He's eligible on the right side. Williams and Askew in the backfield. Smith shifting. Cadillac Williams. And he's pulled back by Hollis Thomas as he got to the 1-yard line. Let's go to the field to Chris Myers.
Yes, Ed, Cadillac ran into the locker room for a quick IV after the start of the 3rd quarter and actually needed to wrap around his arm or wrist where they put the needle mark. It wasn't the ribs bothering him. Those are fine. Just a little dehydration, but he's obviously now good to go.
And the good news is Chris Myers has not had to take an IV.
And you know what, Chris? Your hair still looks good.
That's right. 2nd and goal. 3rd and goal, excuse me. Cadillac's second touchdown of the game. Luke Pettigrew and Aaron Sears led him into the end zone.
That's what you call the power lead. And just followed his fullback, too, behind those linemen. B.J. Askew got up in the crease. Like a nice block on Roman Harper. And Cadillac is an easy stride into the end zone.
Wow. There is no way anyone could have believed this game would unfold this way. It's a 4-touchdown lead for the Bucs over the New Orleans Saints, who were in the NFC Championship game last season. The Bucs fired up. They're clicking on all cylinders. '27th career 100-yard reception game for Joey Galloway.
Look at that. 33.8 per catch and a couple of scores.
28-0 lead for Tampa Bay. Matt Bryant puts the leg into it. Lansmore backs up and will take a knee. So what does Joey Galloway think about speed and what's really fast? Well, he's pretty fast, but he's got some other things on his mind. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had 8 possessions in the game and alternated punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown. They spread the offense. Breeze on first down. Reggie Bush up across the 30 for a first down. Let's go to the field to Chris Myers.
Sam, you've heard the expression, he can fly. Well, Joey Galloway, literally, that's him cooling off there. It flew with the Blue Angels this offseason. So now that's really speed. He said it was hard to believe we were threatening the speed of sound. He's a guy who said before the game, even if it's hot, I'll run and I'll cool myself off. And other guys around the league say when Joey loses a step, he's still a step ahead of everyone else. John Gruden did emphasize we go into every game looking for big plays from Joey. In this particular game, at least he said at half, we're getting the right matchup. Sam, Tim?
You're right about that, Chris, and he's run by the defenders all afternoon.
And I'm sure could still run in the 4-3. The thing that was funny is we thought he was going to say another player. Well, you know, Dion back in the day, Darryl Green. No, Blue Angels.
2nd and 10. First pass intended for Eric Johnson. This one intended for Reggie Bush. Drew Brees now 12 for 23. 99 yards, 1 interception, and no points for the Saints. They have had no offensive touchdowns through nearly 7 quarters of football this season.
And I asked Drew, I said, what happened against Indy last week? You guys were so out of sync and out of rhythm. What were they doing to you? He said, absolutely nothing. It was all on us. I wonder what the story is today, because that Tampa D is doing a good job of making him do what he doesn't want to do.
Brees with a pass that's caught by David Payton. Payton with speed fights off Rodney Barber. The race down the sideline, and Philip Buchanan wrestles him out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Great play by David Payton. And Brees did a good job to buy a little time in the pocket.
And watch David Payton here. He's just going to run an in route right where you want to run it to that cover 2 zone. Behind the linebackers, in front of the safeties, and then a couple of bad angles. And this tackle by Jermaine Phillips, a bad angle by Rondé Barber, and that's the biggest play of the day for the New Orleans Saints.
58 yards, deepest penetration into Bucs territory by the Saints. They've got Terrence Copper, Marcus Colston, and Lance Moore at the wide receivers. Quick out to Colston. And he is pulled down by Tenard Jackson, the rookie safety, at the 5-yard line. Jackson, 4th-round draft pick out of Syracuse, who just outplayed everybody to become a starter.
Good player.
Had a great preseason.
Yep, he's got a lot of burst in and out of his breaks. Remember, they drafted a safety in the 2nd round in Sabatino Piscitelli. And Tenard Jackson, kind of as a hybrid guy, corner safety, came in and won that job at the free safety spot.
2 tight ends, Johnson and Miller for the Saints. Reggie Bush motions. Everybody out. Pass down to the 1-yard line to Marcus Colston. Colston's forward progress just short of the 1-yard line.
And you can see the burst. Watch Jackson right here as he's going to recognize that this ball is coming to Colston. He's going to immediately turn his jets on and get enough to get up there and get a hand on Colston before he can fall into the end zone with the big body.
They're going to bring the chains into measure. I think it's a little short. They had to get right to the 1-yard line for a first down.
And if you're not fast reacting with bursts right there like Jackson, that's an easy touch for a big body like Colston just falling backwards.
And that's about 6 inches short. It'll bring up 3rd and inches for the Saints. And they bring in 3 tight ends, Eric Johnson, Billy Miller, and John Owens. And now they change the formation. Owens and Miller come off. And we've got guys coming in and out for both. And the Bucs make the change.
And clearly Sam down 28. This is 4-down territory. Nothing less than a touchdown is their desire right now.
Colston and Copper, the wide receivers. Carney and McAllister in the backfield, and the Bucs call a timeout. Not sure if they had the right personnel on the field. They'll try and hold the Saints. Doubleheader day on Fox next week. It begins with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show. Rams will be here in Tampa Bay to play the Bucs. Minnesota will be in Kansas City. Late games. Carolina Panthers will be in Atlanta. The Giants will be in Washington. NFL on Fox. Doubleheader next Sunday. 3rd and inches for the Saints. Deuce Mcallister, the lone back. Sneak by Breeze. It looks like he's got enough. He's inside the 1-yard line. First down, New Orleans. First and goal for the Saints. This is a must touchdown possession for New Orleans.
And you'd like to start getting punching these things in as quick as you can. Just a minute 50 left here in the 3rd, getting ready to go into the 4th quarter. They've got to start preserving time, I think, right now.
The turnover battle is in favor of Tampa Bay. They have taken the ball away twice, a fumble and an interception, and put 14 points on the board. 8th play of the drive for the Saints. Reggie Bush to the goal line, and he's short. And trying to follow Mike Carney. But a good tackle on the play. Keeps Reggie Bush outside. Jermaine Phillips and Barrett Ruud combining.
Of course, low man's always going to win down on the goal line. And Ryan Neese, see him come off the edge right there and get in on Reggie Bush. Just knifes through off the edge. He doesn't make that play. That's an easy touchdown for Bush.
Their 2nd goal inside the 1. Carney and Bush in the backfield. 3 tight ends. Carney.
Okay.
And no signal yet.
Yeah, he got it.
Now he's in. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their first offensive touchdown of the season. And it's the big fullback, Mike Carney, who delivers it.
The big play offense, the biggest in the league last year. It takes them 2 weeks to get in the end zone, and it's their fullback. Looks like he was starting to cramp up, too, after he got it in the end zone. You saw him reach down and try to stretch his calf. Mike Carney there.
Mike Carney with his 2nd career rushing touchdown, his 4th career touchdown. He had 3 last season. The extra point by Olindo Mare is good. And the New Orleans Saints have some life. You know, we talk about big backs, and there's a great one. There's Mike Allstott. He has been a great one, a 6-time Pro Bowl performer. Right now on IR this year, and may have reached the end of his career. He combined strength, the power, and some shiftiness for a big man.
Look at those moves. Look at those jump steps and jump hops and the things that he did. For a guy his size, when he came into the league out of Purdue, nobody expected him to take this league by storm in terms of the way he ran the football.
71 touchdowns scored, and that is a franchise record here in Tampa.
And I think that's about it for him. I mean, you look at his injuries over the last couple of years and the neck, and I think it's probably it for old Mike Allstott. Boy, it's been a great career.
For a guy like Mike Carney, a young man, 4th year out of Arizona State, he might have seen a lot of Mike Allstott. Murray to kick off. Mark Jones backs up. Brings it out. Finds a lane. Broke a couple of tackles. Outstanding return by Mark Jones. Heading up to the 32. Every time he hits an opening, you think, might this be the one?
The whole crowd is standing up.
Get the first kickoff return ever for a touchdown. Well, we're playing football, but postseason baseball is not far away. And on Fox, we've got the ALCS, the American League Championship Series, beginning October 12th, followed by the World Series. Big baseball right here on Fox.
So your Yankees fighting their way into the wild card?
Man, they're not going to do it if they lose like they did yesterday. They play tonight. Detroit's starting to win again. It's only a 2-game lead in the wild card. Cadillac Williams, a couple of yards up to the 34. Let's check out the Packers and the Giants. Kurt Menefee, what's happening?
Well, I know the Bucs have been almost perfect today, but Brett Favre was perfect on this drive. 9 for 9, including the touchdown pass to Donald Lee. And in the Meadowlands, it's the Pack up by 8 over the Giants. Sam and Tim.
Brett playing on the
Getting
big stage.
closer to that record, isn't he? Danny Marino's
another touchdown pass.
Touchdown record.
We have come to the end of the third quarter. Each team with a touchdown. The Bucs with the big lead in this division battle. It's 28-7. End of the third quarter. Welcome back to Tampa on a hot, humid afternoon. The homestanding Tampa Bay Buccaneers are leading the New Orleans Saints 28-7. Yes, it's a hot day. No matter what you're doing, standing still, it's tough to stay cool. Fans are trying, and they're enjoying their Bucs this afternoon. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers with you. Glad you're with us for Sunday afternoon football on Fox. PJ Askew, the fullback motions. Garcia off the play fake. The roll and the throw. He throws well on the run, and here he hooks up with the tight end Alex Smith to the 46 for a first down. 12-yard pickup. Garcia is 10 for 14 in the game. 243 yards.
We talk about this offensive line. Watch Jeremy Trueblood right there, 65. Watch him cave down on the defensive lineman with nastiness and just put Kendrick Clancy down there on his back. And this offensive line, they are winning at the point of attack, especially in the passing game. This group here hasn't gotten a sniff of Garcia all day.
Anthony Becton at tight end. Ike Hilliard motions. Cadillac Williams straight ahead. A couple of yards on the play. Now it's for the Bucs. It's a matter of controlling the football, protecting the football, and killing some time on the clock.
And they haven't been able to really move the chains by running the ball in the first 3 quarters of this game. Time of possession has heavily favored the New Orleans Saints in this game. Tampa Bay has just been about the big plays through the air.
Hollis Thomas is in at defensive tackle for the Saints.
14 passes, 0 sacks allowed, and I think 1 hit on Jeff Garcia in the first quarter by Brian Young, and that's it.
Garcia's hit 5 big plays in the game. They fake the end around. Garcia with time. A wobbly pass is dropped by Anthony Beck. The tight end was open. He's known for his blocking, but he was open.
They had the big tight end who's right here on a corner route. You see him take off. He is wide open. Jeff looks off the safety, and Anthony Beck just jumped too soon. I don't even think he had to get up to try to get that football. He left his feet and then lost his ability to hang on to it.
3rd and 8 to get to the 44 of New Orleans for a first down. Jason Kraft is in as a 5th defensive back for the Saints. Wide receivers, everybody out. Pressure on Garcia as he rolls. Thomas after him, and Garcia throws it away. He was out of the pocket. No intentional grounding. Good pressure from Hollis Thomas. And again, the alternating possessions continue for Tampa Bay. Punt on the odd numbers, touchdowns on the even number possessions. That was their 9th possession. This is their 5th punt of the game.
So what should we expect on the 10th possession?
It's got to be a touchdown.
Right.
Bidwell aiming it for the sideline away from Reggie Bush, and it's out of bounds. They're not going to give him a chance to change the momentum of the game. Bidwell kicks it out of bounds at the New Orleans 22, and Tampa Bay leads by 21. Back in Tampa, where the Bucs fans are happy with the performance of their team.
Beat the Heat? No, let's just beat New Orleans.
John Gruden said, I'm tired of losing. The players are tired of losing. The fans are tired of losing.
Go back to last year. I think this club had lost 6 of 7 football games.
Saints work out of the shotgun. Spread offense. 3 wide receivers in. Brees in trouble. Throws it away to Reggie Bush. I shouldn't say he threw it away. He kind of slung it. And the completion gets Bush up to the 26-yard line. Pressure from Greg Smyers, the defensive end for Tampa Bay. No huddle.
Yeah, they need to up the tempo for sure here.
Stay with 3 wide receivers and Reggie Bush. Everybody out. Brees for Bush, and he was batted down. Gaines Adams, the #1 draft pick. What are your thoughts on Gaines Adams from what you've seen?
I think it's been tough for him, and he's been okay today. He's flashed a couple of times on the quarterback, but from the day he got here and through the OTAs and the offseason and after the draft, he's been at 3 different positions. They tried him at right end, then they tried him at left end, then they tried him as standing up as an outside backer and working a little 3-4 stuff. Talent-wise, athletic ability, he's got it all. I think the biggest thing with Gaines Adams is he's got to be out here on Sundays getting reps for real and figure out, Sam, how to develop a counter move to his speed rush off the edge.
Big 3rd down play. Brees pointing things out, pointing out the defense. Everybody out. Brees rolling, faking, throwing. Incomplete. Intended for Lance Moore. And it brings up a 4th down. And the Saints stay on the field. The offense stays on.
Heck of a job by Rondé Barber on the bunch. You see him right there. They're covering that little bunch route, which is 3 receivers clustered up together. And the way you play that is a matchup zone, but always very, very important to jam the point man. And that time Colston was the point man, and Barber just got all up in his kitchen and disrupted the timing of that with the 2-handed jam.
4th and a long 5. They have to get to the 32 for a 1st down. This could be the game right here. Brees waiting, pressure, throws it down. Let's see what happened.
They call it timeout?
Timeout was called.
Timeout. New Orleans.
Wow. That had to come from the sideline.
I think Sean Payton called it. I think he did.
Came from the sideline.
Let's give these kids a round of applause.
Last season, New Orleans swept the 2 games with Tampa Bay. In both games, Drew Brees was outstanding. One game, he threw 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. This afternoon, the Bucs have given him a lot of trouble, sacked him twice.
Yeah, it was more than that, though. They've handcuffed him with the defensive line. It's been mostly zone coverage behind him, and the 4-man rush, as you said, only 2 sacks, but they've been hitting him all day.
Here's the big 4th down play. Saints have to have it. Brees steps up, running for it. He's got the 1st down. Gaines Adams finally got him, but not before Drew Brees picked up the 1st down at the 34-yard line.
Heads up play by Drew Brees, because they blitzed him with both linebackers. Barrett Root and Derek Brooks both came up the gut. They had man coverage behind it. Drew saw it, found a little crease, and took off and got a much-needed 1st down.
Once again, no huddle for the Saints. They have to find a way to score. Brees knocked down by Jermaine Phillips. Stepped in front of Eric Johnson, the tight end.
He has been everywhere.
Phillips has had a strong
big-time game. Go back to week 1 against Seattle and watch him. He's just going to read the eyes of the quarterback. He's going to break, undercut the receiver, and almost was able to corral that for an interception in front of Eric Johnson. But go back to last week. He was everywhere in that football game.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys, 4th, 5th year, that Rondé Barber says, you know what, I'm even hard on this guy in his 6th season to get him going, to get him playing Buck football. And well, he's ripping it up the last 2 weeks.
Brees on 2nd down under pressure. Stecker bobbled it and dropped it. Barrett Rood was there. A couple of drops in this game, much like last week for the Saints, who had 5 drops in the game against the Colts. They've had at least 3, maybe 4 in this game. Ryan Neese replaces Barrett Rood for the Bucs.
And if you'll notice, all the defensive linemen are really rotating. Look how gassed those guys are. It's the hardest job in pro football to be 270 to 310 pounds and trying to rush the passer in a 2-minute drill.
The rookie Greg Peterson getting some playing time out of North Carolina Central. Spread offense. Breeze had an open man. It was Terrence Copper, and it was overthrown.
He is just way off. I mean, he unloaded that ball early and didn't have to. I think fearing some rush around him.
And here's another 4th down coming up for Drew Brees and the Saints. And again, a must play for them on their own 34-yard line, down by 3 touchdowns. And the Bucs defense has done a great job.
We're going to zone it up and keep everything in front of them and hopefully tackle in front of the sticks.
Everybody out. Breeze fires off the hands of David Payton. He was covered by the rookie, Tenard Jackson. And the ball goes over on downs in Saints territory. Down 28-7. Emmys tonight on Fox. Pre-show live at 7, 6 Central. Then the glamour continues. I want to see what the women are wearing.
You going to get your hair done for that?
I want to see what the women are wearing. The beautiful gowns.
Would you do your hair different for the Emmys?
No. Can't. Cadillac Williams breaks a couple of tackles and gets down to the 21-yard line. Best run of the game for Cadillac, 13 yards.
Hey, give those trainers and those equipment guys a lot of credit. Those guys are magicians at some of the stuff they can come up with. And he's not wearing a flak jacket, but he is wearing something to protect those ribs. You can kind of see it a little bit under his jersey there. Something homemade. It's pretty amazing, those guys, some of the stuff they can come up with putting together with tape and pads.
19 carries, 50 yards, 2 touchdown runs, short ones. As the Bucs slowly go to the line, killing some of the time off the clock. On 1st down, Ike Hilliard in motion. Cadillac takes it outside. Tripped up as he gets inside the 20 to the 17, down to the sideline to Chris.
Hey, Sam, you mentioned, or a moment ago, you were talking about the trainer, Todd Torricelli, who may have an edge. He's been the Buccaneers trainer, but he also is involved in research of dehydration and exercising heat. He's been working with scientists from the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, and he's had the Bucs in great shape. And he also, it was left up to him and Cadillac Williams of what kind of protection he would wear, whether it be a flak jacket or that customized padding, which they worked on after Cadillac practice this week.
Michael Pittman replaces Cadillac, who just limped off. Joey Galloway in motion. It's Pittman straight ahead, powers his way inside the 15 of the 14-yard line. They'll bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Bucs.
This offensive line has really played good, as we've talked about, at the point of attack, mostly in the passing game, but fairly solid in the run game. And there's the guy, Davin Joseph, who I think is the best player on their offensive line and really was under fire in a game he had at Seattle last week. Now, the first-round pick from a year ago. He's playing well today.
Tim, we've talked about the rotation on the defensive line. Why is it that the offensive line stays intact? Same 5, no changes.
Because those guys are reacting most of the time. Defenders, you're talking about big men running and running constantly. A lot of these guys offensively, the heart rate never gets as high as it does for the defensive players on that side of the ball.
Ernest Graham in it, running back. Gonna fight his way for a 1st down, and he's very close. Good effort by Ernest Graham with his first carry. Time for an update on the Browns and the Bengals. Let's go to Kurt Menefee.
Was Tim trying to say defensive guys work harder? Spoken like a defender, huh? Chad Johnson promised to leap into the dog pound if he scored in Cleveland. He does both. Scores and jumps in. Probably wished he hadn't. Right now it's a good one, 41-31 Browns.
Wow. Just ask Howie, Kurt.
Wild game. The Battle of Ohio. It was a 1st down. Michael Pittman is back in. Cloud cover overhead. Pittman straight ahead. Bouncing off a couple of tacklers. It's close to the 8-yard line.
You know that Billy Muir is loving this, the offensive coordinator and / offensive line coach. This is what you live for if you're an offensive lineman. You're up 3 touchdowns, 8 minutes to go, and you can just start pounding guys. And there's Bill Muir right there.
He's got John Wade at center, the rookie Aaron Sears, and 2nd-year man Devin Joseph the guards. 2nd-year tackle Jeremy Trueblood with Luke Pettigrew,
and that was
his first year with the Bucs.
And Sam, that was the ambition, I think, of Bruce Allen and John Gruden this offseason. Get Pettigrew, get Aaron Sears. Another year now out of Davin Joseph. They are improved across the line of scrimmage.
Cadillac Williams back in. Maurice Stovall at wide receiver. Cadillac hitting the backfield. Oh, that was good penetration up front by the Saints, led by the safety, Josh Bullocks.
It was just an all-out blitz. The old smoke blitz with the safety. Smoke, starting with an S, referring to the safety getting up inside and blitzing the crease.
Josh starting, third-year man out of Nebraska. What about his brother Daniel? What's up with him?
His brother was a high pick in Detroit. Torn ACL. He's out for the year.
We'll be right back.
It's time to heat it, some humidity, and I'm not sure what's gotten into me. It's time to heat it, some humidity, and I'm not sure what's gotten into me.
A lot of humidity and a lot of heat, and it may have gotten to the New Orleans Saints. Certainly it hasn't bothered the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Jeff Garcia told us the other day, said if these 300-pounders can get out here, because me at a $195, 200, not a problem.
They have to get to the 2 for a first down. Michael Pittman in the backfield. Pittman carries. Playing it safe. He gets inside the 10-yard line. So on this even possession, there will not be a touchdown for the Bucs, but they will try to put 3 on the board. The Saints use another timeout. They have 1 remaining. As the Bucs send on Matt Bryant, who with his 2 for 2 last week in Seattle became the most accurate field goal kicker in franchise history. Try to put 3 on the board. Matt Bryant, who had the memorable 62-yarder here last season against Philadelphia. The second longest field goal in NFL history and the longest walk-off game winner in history. Right here, Bidwell will hold. Andrew Economos is the long snapper. It'll be a 27-yard try for Matt Bryant. Bryant is 3 for 3 this season. The Bucs put points on the board in every even-numbered possession. They now lead 31-7. It's been quite a day for John Gruden and his team.
That's a big field goal, too. It makes it 4 scores, as you know.
Raymond James Stadium is a beauty, and they have a new facility adjacent to it for the Bucs, their practice facility. And how about these statues for the heroes of the Bucs?
Life
and
size.
their Super Bowl.
Yep, John Lynch right there, Simeon Rice there, John Gruden.
Who's that?
That's Sap Daddy. There's Rondé Barber, Mike Allstott. There's Lynch. Warren, Sap Daddy. I rubbed his belly on the way in for good luck. I thought it was going to happen for me. You know that, right? And they're life size, and it's perfect that those were brought in this week to the facility, and we got a chance to see them. Really, really neat. But all defensive guys, for the most part, with the exception of Gruden and Allstott. And today, the defense has just been lights out. You saw Brad Johnson in the very back there, but defensively, these guys have gotten after it. I'm happy for Monty Kiffin, and even the players told us that he's been a little more high-strung than in years past, the defensive coordinator here in Tampa Bay.
You know, you said it early in the game, and I don't know if we've emphasized it enough. They've really played a physical game on defense, and I think it really impacted. Lance Moore from the 1. Saints need a big return. They won't get it. Good tackle on the play by Adam Hayward, a rookie linebacker out of Portland State.
And always in Tampa, it starts up front with this group, the defensive line. You see the front 4. You want to get the pressure with these guys, and they were all over Drew Brees today. What's there? Greg White on a sack. Javon Hay coming from his 3 technique over the guard gets a sack. Another hit by Greg White. Greg Spires in here forcing the action on Drew Brees. They were really in his face today, harassing him for the better part of this football game. And what you got to like is it was depth guys doing it too.
Yeah.
See Greg White come in. You see other guys that came in and actually got some pretty good pressure that aren't starters for this group up front.
Brees on first down. Marcus Colston battles his way up to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play. No timeouts remaining for the Saints, who go no huddle. 2 turnovers, 1 fumble, 1 interception, 5 drop passes. He had 5 last week. Pressure, the hit on Breeze, but he connects with Marcus Colston, who slides at the 39 for a first down.
Boy, Greg White has played good today, the arena star for Jay Gruden. He didn't get a lot of run last week, old number 91 against Seattle, but he's had a big impact. Here he is, right here.
Spread offense. Everybody out. Breeze going short. Connecting up at the 49-yard line. We're close to midfield and close to the first down line of Marcus Colston. Again, it's right at the first down marker, and they give him the first down. Colston's numbers going up late. They did a good job on all the wide receivers early in the game with the Bucs defense. Terrence Copper is in now. Breeze connecting with Marcus Colston inside the 30. Lance Moore, excuse me, not Marcus Colston, pickup of 22. Once again, no huddle offense for New Orleans.
And Tampa, up as many as they are, they will continue to sit in this zone just so that Drew doesn't get him with an easy, cheap one deep.
And this is Terrence Copper, who is pulled back, forward progress down the 22-yard line. His first catch.
I think Rondé Barber's happy with the fellas today so far.
Oh, no doubt about that.
What did he tell us the other day? He said he's even had to be a bad guy, and he doesn't like that.
No.
In terms of trying to raise the standard, about 7 or 8 guys on this defense that don't understand what the expectation is of Tampa Bay D.
It is changing of the guard. There's no doubt about that. Timeout called by the Bucs. Haven't called Chris Hovan all that much. But how do you think he's done?
I think he's played pretty good today. You know, he's never known as a big-time pass rusher that's going to get you right up the gut and get on your quarterback. But in terms of clogging the running lanes on the inside, I think he's done a solid job.
Tomorrow night, new series opens on Fox. It's Cadeville. Takes place in New Orleans. A good action series that you want to see. And it follows Prison Break returns. Oh, you got to see that. It's the best. Michael is in prison down in Central America. We got to get him out. And Cadeville.
We got to get him out.
We got him.
Are you hooked or what? We got to get him out.
It all begins at 8/7 Central right here on Fox.
That Cadeville looks like a good show too.
Yep.
Really does. And despite the performance today by Drew Brees and this Saints football team, he is so happy to be in New Orleans.
Saints will play their home opener a week from tomorrow against Tennessee. And that will be another tough game. Tennessee at home battling Indianapolis today, trailing by 22-20. 2 minutes to go in the game. Copper and Moore in at the receiver position. Reggie Bush is split out. Breeze drops it off to the tight end. First catch of the game for Eric Johnson. He had 8 catches last week against Indianapolis.
Surprised he hasn't been a bigger part of this football game in the first 3 quarters, because they've been really, for the most part, defensively playing zone for the Tampa Bay Bucs. And I don't think he was targeted more than twice in the first half of the football game.
Clock running with 4:40 to go. A first down for the Saints at the 14. Everybody out. And again, to the tight end, Eric Johnson. Johnson battled back from a couple of injuries. He lost 2 full seasons in San Francisco.
And that's why he's not in San Francisco. His durability is always in question.
Everybody out. Breeze. Johnson inside the 5-yard line.
They are hitting so hard out there. Those linebackers and DBs. That time Cato June just peels off his guy. Rude's in on the tackle, and Cato tries to deliver some damage. Barrett Rude has been everywhere. Causing fumbles early. How about the momentum changers early, knocking the ball loose, and the offense gets it and drives down and scores. As a matter of fact, he told us he's a Nebraska guy and had USC in there yesterday, and USC won. He says he gets more nervous for his college games than he does in playing in his own pro games.
I could understand that. 10 tackles. He had 13 last week. First and goal for the Saints. Reggie Bush. Grab from behind. Good tackle on the play by Greg Peterson.
Love the fact that the backups are making plays up front. The second-tier guys that are in the rotation, not your starters. You've heard me mention Greg White, Greg Peterson. Gaines Adams has been on the quarterback a little bit. Good work by Bruce Allen. I think Larry Coyer, too, the defensive line coach. Bruce for getting these guys that nobody knows about, and Larry for coaching them. They're playing well.
5th-round pick out of North Carolina Central. 10th play of the drive for the Saints, 2nd and goal. Breeze deep into the end zone. Almost a jump ball. Good coverage by Sammy Davis on David Payton. Brings up a 3rd and goal. You know, as the game got one-sided, we've seen less and less of Deuce Mcallister, but he also got poked in the eye early in the game. I wonder if that bothered him.
I don't think so. I think it became one-dimensional, and then Deuce in the running game are pretty much out. Nice play by Sammy there. No material effect with that bottom arm on the body. Just went up and got a beautiful pass breakup with his right hand. Not bad for a guy who was, Sam, on the street last week.
3 years in San Diego, last year in San Fran, and cut at the end of training camp and preseason. Breeze, quick out, Colston to the corner, and he steps in, touchdown. So the Saints are able to drive down the field, and big Marcus Colston takes it in.
Hard to defend that one if you're Sammy Davis. Just a little smoke screen and threw the quick little just backup hitch to Colston, and David Payton was blocking Sammy Davis there, and Colston just so darn big. If you don't have the good position on him, you're not going to get him stopped at the 1 yard line.
Colston, who got off to such a great start last year, then suffered an ankle injury and couldn't finish up as strong as he had early, as he'd been playing earlier in the season. But he comes up with a touchdown here.
Now watch Payton. He's just going to come block, little smoke screen. Just enough of a block to keep Sammy Davis out and deflect Jermaine Phillips from running the alley and getting in on the play, and Colston with the big body just falls in.
But it's still a 17-point lead for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's Monty Kiffin talking to Sammy Davis. Upset with himself. 2:50 remaining. Saints are out of timeouts.
No question there'll be an onside kick coming here.
Yeah.
Remember, in the last 5 minutes of a game, if they have a guy offsides or if it goes out of bounds before somebody recovers it, no second try on the onside kick will become Tampa Bay's football. So you got one shot, Sammy, to get it right.
That's it. The Bucs send out all their hands people, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, couple of DBs. Olindo Mare will put it in play. Big bounce, and it's caught by Ike Hilliard. There's a short-handed guy. That's a guy you want around the ball. So the Bucs will have it at the Saints' 39-yard line. Saints are out of timeouts.
You know, the big fellas today, the O&D linemen on both sides of the ball, those guys will easily lose 10 to 12 pounds today. Just in water weight. You can drink 3 gallons of water during the course of the game, and they'll still go in there and jump on the scale and be down 10. That works. That works for Monday morning weigh-ins.
That's why the steakhouses are packed tonight. 2 tight ends, Alex Smith and Anthony Beck for the Bucs. They'll lead 31-14. Michael Clayton in motion. Cadillac Williams pushing the pile. Good effort down to the 35-yard line. Cadillac is carried 22 times for 54 yards, and in his career, in games in which he's carried 20 or more times,
undefeated,
the Bucs
right?
are 9-0,
yep.
And will be 10-0. Post-game show brought to you by AT&T. Coming up, Kurt, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy back in the studio. We'll run down all the games with the highlights and the stats. A couple of finals are in. Jacksonville defeats Atlanta 13-7. Pittsburgh over Buffalo 26-3 in a very emotional game. Here, 2-minute warning. Reggie Bush with 70 yards total offense, 10 carries, 27 yards on the ground, 6 receptions, 43 yards.
Look at this graphic here. Since 1970, teams starting 0-2 have a 1% chance to make it to the playoffs.
Ooh. That's not good.
Still got a chance, Sammy.
All right.
Still got a chance.
Cadillac battles his way down to the 30-yard line. So the guy with the sore ribs who took the huge hit last week has carried 23 times in the game this afternoon.
Well, he said it during the week, I think on Wednesday, that, wait a minute, I feel pretty good. I think I'm going to be able to go. And John Gruden pulled back on that and said, no, not so fast. The Cadillac is always in the shop. We need to get him repaired and see what's happening. And just frankly said they were going to bring him out here in pregame, put the pedal to the metal, see if he could go, and he could. And I'm surprised that he's gotten this many touches of the football today. I really am.
Another game just went final. 49ers 2-0 start. They defeat the Rams in St. Louis 17-16. Rams will be here to play the Bucs next Sunday. Cadillac. That looks like a first down. We talked about the physical play, and that's what Tampa Bay wanted.
Look at this block by Clayton right there on Case Behorn on the long touchdown, knocking the ball out. Brooks, another big hit right there. Barrett Ruud was everywhere today. Jermaine Phillips was bringing the hat on everybody. Look at Brooks. Look at Cato June right there on a mission. Those linebackers in secondary, give them a lot of credit. With all the zone they play, the whole emphasis is, look, read the quarterback, hit your breaks. As soon as he throws the football, go break on it and deliver a shot. And they've done that all day.
And now the Bucs running out the clock. Saints will be home against Tennessee on Monday night, a week from tomorrow. Bucs will be home, and the good friends acknowledge one another and wish each other luck. Sean Payton and the Saints, they've got to regroup and find the magic that they had last season. They start the season 0-2, and now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be tied for the division lead.
Comes down to a must-win, really, for New Orleans. They've got Tennessee next week, and then a bye. They desperately need a W.
Bucs beat the Saints 31-14.